ready for war.
And we're live.
Lights is up. Wise man mad. They ready for war. Feeling all blacks is a trooper. Playing by strategize crucial.
48.
Gotta pick a side, no neutral.
48.
In the middle of a war as usual. Watch your back, they shoot. If your ops drop, better keep it moving. Keep it moving. All we do is win, no losing. In the middle of a war as usual. In the middle of a war as usual. In the middle of a war as usual. Playing plot, strategize crucial. In the middle of a war as usual. In the middle of a war as usual. In the middle of a war as usual. If the ops drop, better keep it moving. In the middle of a war as usual.
Yeah, man.
Bruh.
Yo, let's get it,
Bro.
man. Can y'all hear me well? Am I coming through? Give me a 1 in the chat if you hear us. Let me get a 2 if you hear any discrepancies in our microphonage. All right. You know what I mean? We back at it once again, like we never left. Because we never left. As usual out there, man. Everything. It just don't like it ain't gonna war ain't going it's gonna get worse. But we want y'all to know that. You know what I'm saying? What we got queued up?
Elon Musk.
You hear this? Y'all know we about to talk. Y'all already know what's going down. The movie I, Robot is coming to life. Shit is crazy, dog. I, Robot is happening right now. America's falling. And robots is about to take over. Let's get into it, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
For sure.
If I could, I do want to bring out some facts about it, though.
Go ahead.
Let's get it.
The showcasing that he just had not too long ago, the robots was not fully automated.
Mm-hmm.
They were actually being controlled
Right.
by the engineers that worked on them. And if you can listen, you hear when they speak, it's somebody speaking through a microphone.
Right.
And that projects through the robot. But of course, it's still interesting to see. I think he just did that just to display how, the capabilities, you know what I'm saying? But they were not fully automated though. So I just want to bring that fact out.
Yeah, and if you pay attention, you can see they shot videos of different robots, and each one of them had a different voice. Which I mean, I guess they could program them that way, but you could tell it's a different person behind every robot. But I don't want to talk too much about it because I got a take on it myself. But I want I guess we can get through the like you got a video on it or whatever. We can watch that first.
Elon Musk put Tesla's Optimus Gen 2 robots to work at the company's We Robot event, serving drinks, handing out gift bags, posing for photos with attendees, and dancing. Musk also shared his vision for how these robots might fit into people's lives. Here's everything you need to know.
Now, one of the things we wanted to show tonight was that Optimus is not a canned video. The Optimus robots will walk among you.
Elon Musk and Tesla held their We Robot event at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank, California. After dropping 2 brand new self-driving cars, Musk introduced several Optimus Gen 2s and laid out his vision for human-humanoid relations.
It'll basically do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids, it can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks. I think this will be the biggest product ever of any kind.
What's really new about all this Optimus footage is the fact that people are getting a chance to interact with these robots, which is important for building trust. especially if these things are meant to go into people's homes. The robots handed out gift bags and drinks, similar to previous skills we've seen from the robots in Tesla's promotional videos. Dancing, similarly, has been a part of Tesla Bot's marketing from the beginning, back when it was just a person in a robot suit. Even more broadly, it's been an industry trend since Boston Dynamics went repeatedly viral with videos of its Spot and Atlas robots dancing. This type of interaction with the public isn't something we've seen a lot of in the humanoid robotics field. Aside from robots working as attractions at places like the Sphere or Disney's theme parks, robots often stay in the lab until they're nearly ready for production or a limited release to strategic partners, developers, or educational institutions. It's also unique that Musk combined the rollout of his robo-taxi and robo-van with this public showing of Optimus's abilities. Musk has long said that Tesla's self-driving technology basically makes its cars robots on wheels. Its years of work in self-driving technology also allowed it to develop its robots without needing to partner with companies like NVIDIA, which announced Project Groot earlier this year, or OpenAI, which has backed humanoid robot startups like Figure and 1X. Musk had previously said that the Optimus robots would someday cost less than the price of a car. Today, he reaffirmed that claim, saying that down the road, once Tesla can produce the robots at scale, they would likely cost between $20,000 to $30,000. The event's name, We Robot, is a play on iRobot, the sci-fi action film featuring Will Smith, as well as the short story collection by Isaac Asimov where the film gets its name. Musk's a fan of science fiction and of Asimov in particular, and he often finds ways to weave sci-fi references into the marketing campaigns for his various companies. To see some hidden sci-fi details in one of Optimus's earlier demo videos, check out this video right here.
Yeah.
That shit is interesting, though.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is interesting.
It
man.
is. And to be honest with you, I'm here for it, man. I as a tech person, I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at, robots walking around and doing certain shit because I don't believe in ghosts. You know what I'm saying? And I know movies put a lot of projections into people's heads and it becomes reality for a lot of people. But for us that live on the plane of reality, we understand that in order for a robot or whatever you call it, these Wii robots, in order for them to actually turn on you, because I know that's what people is thinking, you know what I'm saying, because they're thinking about the iRobot movie. In order for that to happen, it would literally have to be programmed to do so. Now, I'm not saying that it couldn't be programmed, but some glitch in the system that makes the robot want to kill you, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's all sci-fi. At the end of the day, we moving forward, and I just feel like we shouldn't be afraid of technology. But I think it's dope that they able to do that, because I'm pretty sure if I had the capabilities and the money and the technology, I would definitely probably create a robot that could do the things that is supposed to do.
Facts. Yeah, facts. Like it's like exactly what you said. It's gonna do what it's supposed to do. It's gonna do what it's programmed to do. Like it don't have emotions. It's
Right.
just like a computer, you know what I'm saying? Your computer is not out there trying to stab you in your sleep. You know what I'm saying? But yet it does everything for you without the actual physical labor. So this is a computer on not wheels, but on legs, I guess. You know what I mean?
And I think that's the basic thing that makes people uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard about nobody being uncomfortable with it as of yet. I think, but I also know the skepticism of Black people, because social media, movies, music has such a big influence on Black culture, believe it or not. I know a lot of people gonna look at that and say, "No, I wouldn't have that in my house, because what if it do this and what if it do that?"
Right.
Now, if for some reason, let's just say it like this. This is how I look at it. For some reason, if you buy one of those things between $20,000 and $30,000, you got that thing in your house, right? And for some reason it malfunctions and slapped the shit out of you, it's probably because it was meant. It was in your future. It was in your cards for you to get slapped the shit, for a robot to slap the shit out of you. Like that's how I feel about it. You feel what I'm saying? Like it was in your cards. It was gonna happen regardless. You know what I mean?
Imagine that, man. Imagine if that robot just go on a limb and just smack the shit out you. Man, that's
what I mean?
Crazy. How do you even respond to that though, man? That's crazy.
I mean, just like anything, like if you notice, Like we've already had like I think what makes people uncomfortable is the fact that it looks human. It has human features, right?
Mhm.
Because if you a person that has Alexa in your house, AI has already infiltrated your crib. If you got a smart TV, it has already infiltrated your crib. If you have a smartphone, AI has already infiltrated your crib. So what makes people is so uncomfortable, you got the phone in your hand, you can control it, right? Alexa just sits there, right? You just speak to it, it don't move. But with these things get up and walk when you tell them to do stuff. They perform tasks. You know what I'm saying? Like in physical tasks. And I think that's what make people kind of skeptical or kind of, you know, maybe a little leery about it. But I really don't think that it's, you know, I'm for forward technology, you know what I'm saying, especially in the stance of it helping us or benefiting us. Because I think when I read the article on it, it's supposed to do like over 1,000 tasks. Like they even said it in the video, you know what I'm saying? It could watch your kids, which I'm pretty sure, much like Alexa, you'll have some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? You have some sort of control over it as well, right? So if it's watching your kids, I'm pretty sure it's a camera that you can lock into it and have it do stuff. So if it's watching your kids, like they say, you will be able to see through it to see what the kids are doing.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, and the children that grow up with this sort of grow up with this technology will be more comfortable with it than maybe we are, which is normally what it is. What you grow up with is what you're comfortable with. When you don't grow up with it, it's like you're trying to adapt. But you know, we would have to adapt, but our children won't have to adapt. This will be something that's a little bit, when they come into the world, this will be a thing. You feel me?
Yeah, nah, kind of right. It's like the internet. You know what I mean? The generation prior to the internet they ain't really get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They said it's about to, take over our minds, about to do this. I mean, which it did a lot, but but people that, like you said, grew up in it, it's like second nature. It's like, it's part of your life. Having internet is just part of your life now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Exactly.
This generation, the newer generation, they don't know what it feels like to not have, internet. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
now this whole new generation is about to know what it's like to not, not have. Well, they're gonna know what is not to have a robot. You know what I'm saying? Like that, they ain't gonna know what that feels like. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they're gonna be raised up with, this robot in their crib. But what do you say about people that say that this is like the next step to stealing people's jobs and stuff like that?
I think that in certain areas it could be, but at the same time, it's two things that happens here. Number one, it forces you to evolve. You know what I mean? It forces you to, okay, while you may seek a job doing something like, I just use an example. Down here they got Publix, right? So you may seek a job, be like, yeah, I can go to Publix. But in reality, what it may force you to do is be like, you know what, instead of going to Publix, I may go do something else, something more. Because really what they're designed to do is do the physical labor, right? From what I understand, you know what I'm saying? Being able to pick up stuff, move stuff, things like that. But to a certain degree, yeah, it would be a sign of them taking over the jobs, because if it costs less, I can see a business person saying, well, instead of paying you 50,000, 60,000, 40,000 a year, I can pay 30,000 one time and just rely on this technology. Now, I'm not saying that's either right or wrong, but we can't act like business people have always been on the side of morality and for the people.
Yeah.
We can't say that. So we can't be like, oh, they taking our jobs. That's what they doing to us. I mean, this is the world that we live in. So you are forced to evolve. So while you may be like, okay, I could just fall back on this, no, it's going to force you to be able to use your mind. So now you got to be a creator of these things. You have to be a manipulator of these things. You have to be programmer of these things. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to get on the other side of technology and be have a hand in the technology. So the people that don't want to evolve, the people that don't want to evolve are going to be the ones that have the most issue.
Nah, you're right. Now is a great time to learn tech. You know what I mean? Learn engineering, so you'll be the one to fix it, the robots, or update the programming or software and shit like that.
Exactly. And this isn't anything that hasn't happened in history before. I just want to remind everybody. Remember, there was a time before there were a Ford, a GM, you know what I'm saying, a Chrysler plant. There was a time before that where people had to do things kind of differently. You know what I'm saying? So there's always a time in history where things evolve and you're forced to do so. And a lot of people don't want it. That's why, like, I'm kind of going off it's just on the subject, but this is what I'm saying. You know what one of my pet peeves in 2024 is when I hear anybody over the age of 25 say, or especially over the age of 30, say that I'm not an internet person. If you grew up and you use the internet, how are you not an internet person? In order to survive in today's society, you have to be an internet person, right? Otherwise, if you're not an internet person, you're going to get left behind. So in that regard, if you're not an internet person and the world is working on the internet and you're not that person, how could you ever affect or be in this war that we in, or affect anything if you're not an internet person? Because again, who the hell is reading newspapers right now? Maybe somebody, but we don't get our information from newspapers anymore. So you can stick to that and say, I'm not an internet person, and go to find the dude that's doing this paper route. You know what I'm saying? I don't know when the last time y'all saw a nigga doing a paper route, but they don't do that no more because now you just go online. So if you're going to be afraid of technology and not evolve, you're going to have an issue. Yeah. That's just me.
You're going to fall behind.
Yeah. Isn't that will always happen? You got the rotary phone. You know what I'm saying? When I hear a nigga say I'm not an internet person, I just imagine they got a rotary phone in their house. They got the long extension cable, and they doing this when they call somebody. 7, 6.
I remember those jaws too. Listen,
I know. You know what's the key word in that? You know what's the key word in that? You remember. Remember. That shit is over. That shit is over.
Hey, check this out. Wasn't we talking about this last week? Like about robots taking jobs and stuff, and how basically the rich would have robots doing the work, and then the workers would have nothing. They won't have any money. And that was a whole conversation. Like we ended the last show off of that, didn't we?
God, yeah, I think. Yeah.
And that was before this whole robot shit came out, wasn't it? Or am I tripping?
I mean, but the robots that Elon Musk is rolling out been in the works for a minute though. I ain't gonna front.
Right.
They've actually been in the works for a minute. So
no, I get it, but it's funny. It's funny that they just it just came out this week, and we had talked about it last week.
God.
But no, me personally, I don't know about y'all, but I would get one.
I would too. I just said that shit. Like I would too.
Yeah, I would definitely get a robot, and I would listen, when I seen, because he ain't just got the robots, he got the car, he got the the autonomous cars and the van. Nigga, I'm going to get, if I can, Lord willing, I would get the car. I don't know about the van, maybe the van, but definitely the car and the robot. Huh?
Nah, go ahead. No,
I would get the car and the robot for sure. I'll put the motherfucking car. I'll make the robot do all of the work that I like. That the fucking robot will be my slavery. Goddamn it, it'll be my slave. Nigga, like do whatever the fuck it is that you got to do to make some money, and that'll be his only operation. The fucking car, I'm putting that bitch on Uber like tomorrow and Lyft. That bitch gonna be on Uber.
That makes
and
sense
Lyft
though.
Tomorrow.
That makes sense. Think about it.
Nah,
you got a robot.
Idea, man, this is $1 million idea.
You already put it out there, so niggas gonna do it. You
right.
got a robot and you got a self-driving car.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to work.
So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, with the robot, you probably going to have some sort of ability to take it over or at least see through the eyes of the robot. So let's just say, for example, you chilling at the crib, right? Picture this. You chilling at the crib and you got that mother running Uber. And you just like, let me check on it. So you just take over the robot, and now you looking through the eyes and you see where it's driving to, where it's doing. You get to see like, okay, everything going. You turn the head, the passenger cool, bop. You get to check in. You done. It's a self-driving car with GPS, and you got a robot in there to make the person feel comfortable.
Yeah, okay, yeah, true enough. But the car don't even have like a seat. Like you don't have a driver's seat. You know what I'm saying? It's really meant for chauffeuring. Like just the car alone is like if they showed the inside of the car where it's like there's no steering wheels, no gas pedal, and none of that is in the car. It's fully autonomous. So it's kind of like they made it to where it's only meant to drive by itself and pick up passengers. You know what I'm saying? But they and now I'm hearing that they like just like the robot isn't fully autonomous, the cars aren't either. Like they tried to test them and they driving on the wrong side of the road and driving off the road and stuff like that. So they still tweaking that shit. But it's just like anything that an inventor creates. You gotta test it. It's gonna have problems. You gotta keep testing it and putting it out there. But I do like the fact that he put the shit out there. And you know what I'm saying? Even though they was using humans to control them, it's kind of like you can see the capability. You can see what they can do. You know what I'm saying? Where it can go. And like you said, if I could just pop in at any given moment and take control over the robot, nigga, we good. Nigga, I'm gonna be. Nigga, let me see what my robot doing right now. Oh, this nigga is on a damn DoorDash run, dropping off some food. Most on crack.
That's what it is. You got them programmed. Why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, can we talk about the other thing? The other thing.
I dropped out. My Wi-Fi was tripping, so I don't know what y'all was talking about.
No. I'm about to let you know. Can we talk about the other thing that other people are anticipating from these robots? Like dating these robots, man?
They already date robots.
Yeah.
If you the type of person,
do you think that's going to be the future?
If you're the type of person that spends 18 hours on your phone, just scrolling or whatever you're doing on your phone, you're dating a robot. if you use ChatGPT to tell you how good your day, or tell ChatGPT how good your day was, rather than getting on the phone with a human being, you're dating a robot. So I mean, shit, they already dating robots.
Yo, not to get too graphic, but go ahead, Salagi.
Nah, my bad. One more thing. If Facebook is your go-to whenever whenever anything happens in your life, any type of excitement happens in your life, whether it be drama or happiness or whatever, and you run a Facebook about, you're dating a robot right now. So like,
I agree. Those are elements to it, because just like when you get on the Facebook and say, "What's on your mind today?" Niggas really be putting what's on their mind with no filter, no nothing. Niggas just be writing. Look, go on Facebook right now and go down your timeline and look at how many niggas is putting out subliminals. Subliminal messages all down your goddamn timeline. Niggas putting out subliminals and shit. They ain't addressing the issue, right? They're putting out subliminals. But I'll go even further. They have an app right now where you can, and firsthand I know this, you could put a device in your girl's underwear and control it from your phone. Is that not AI? It's a battery in that mud. You gotta charge it. She can put it. No, listen, this is real shit. She could put the thing in her box right now, and wherever I'm at, I can turn up the volume. I can turn up the vibration. I can turn it down. I can move it around. I swear it is. That's real talk. So if you got 3-4 women, they all got this thing in their box at any given time, and you could go on the app and be like, boom, boom.
That's fucking crazy.
That's real.
That's weird.
Oh, it's already happening. So Now you just got a nigga you could. Now you just got a robot you can talk
He
to.
definitely
That's
did.
what it is.
Niggas gonna be
Like,
marrying
I
robots.
know you brothers is righteous brothers, so y'all might not know about those things that's happening out here in these cold streets. But I'm just here to let y'all know that's happened. That's a thing. That's a thing. Like that's a thing.
Nah, but niggas gonna be marrying off these robots, nigga. You gonna see whole wedding ceremonies, walking down the aisle.
You got niggas marrying trees.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got niggas marrying dogs. You got niggas marrying themselves.
You got the same sex marrying the same sex. So hey,
ain't no telling what these motherfuckers do. All right. Love, quote unquote, love thing goes. You know what I'm saying? I would listen, it's a sad day to be a robot in that day. The robots getting sexually assaulted. It ain't enough that P. Diddy are having freak offs.
Right. Just imagine what's gonna happen now. P. Diddy can't have no more freak offs, so now they're gonna get all the robots together and baby oil them up. That's what's gonna happen. Whatever technology comes out with, whatever we create, people will learn a way to pervert them any way they can. They just gonna learn to do it. So, you know, I'm not one to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm old school. You know what I'm saying? I like women, and I like real women, but you know, them lonely brothers, brothers, and them lonely sisters. Hey, that's what they gonna do. That's what they gonna do.
Yeah, I like warm bodies. I like warm bodies.
Yo, once they get the heat sensor on it, it's a wrap.
Oh damn, that's crazy. You're right. Yeah, they can definitely heat them hoes up.
You know what I'm saying?
It's cooling them down. It's actually cooling them down. That's the problem, nigga. If you know mechanics.
You know what I mean? Malfunction at the wrong time. It's gonna be a long night for you, buddy.
Man. Oh man. We're gonna move on with that. With that being said, shit. But nah, it's cool though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just gotta know how to deal with like imagine the kingdom of heaven, right? Imagine in the kingdom of heaven, there's robotics, right? But in the kingdom of robotics, not the kingdom of robotics, but robotics in the kingdom, there's righteousness. So it wouldn't be all the stuff you talking about, the oiling up the robots and stuff, unless they need oil. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know how to use oil on the fucking machine. But if it was in the kingdom, like, just imagine how great of an accomplishment that would be. You know what I'm saying? Like that wouldn't even be the greatest accomplishment in the kingdom of heaven. I mean, by that time, we're gonna have motherfucking flying chariots and shit, like, you know what I'm saying, that drive at the speed of light. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So a robot is mediocre. Imagine the type of advancements we'll have in the kingdom of heaven. If you're afraid of a goddamn robot in America, and you ain't ready for the kingdom of heaven, you're not.
Yeah. I would agree. You know what I mean? I think, you know, I don't know, but just I would say that these mechanical these robots, whatever type of being you want to call it, are powered by electricity. And I would just for me, I would like to believe and think that in the kingdom, electricity is a minor thing. You know what I mean? Right. That it will be powered by something a little bit better than just electricity. Right. That's just what we can get our hands on, you know, powering up a battery. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't imagine being in the kingdom and being like, who the fuck stole my charger? You know what I'm saying? I just can't, I can't imagine that, to me personally. So, you know, I just think people shouldn't be afraid of it, and, you know, stop watching all them Bible movies where everything is the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what it boils down to. Christian people think everything is the devil. If something can move or some sort of advancement in technology, people always think it's the devil. They thought the same thing about cell phones. I ain't forget about you 5G niggas. I didn't forget about y'all who said that the 5G was something to take over your mind. Now y'all niggas 5Ging it up. Y'all niggas ain't even get a signal unless you got 5G.
Now they begging for 5G, nigga. It's like, goddamn, man, my shit, my signal went down to 4G. Nigga, please.
You feel me?
Nah, in the kingdom, we gonna have vibranium up for y'all.
Vibranium, you right.
The kingdom gonna be powered off of vibranium, man.
You know what I'm saying? That shit gonna be powered off peace. That's what that shit gonna be powered off. We gonna find out in the kingdom that shit just work by itself if it's just peace in the land. Your laptop can just fire the fuck up if you niggas just peaceful. If you just become peaceful, you ain't gotta pay another light bill in your life. If you just have peace in your home. Just imagine.
Look, as soon as two
if
niggas
your
beat,
woman just shut her mouth and do what you told her to do, that it will power the whole goddamn house. Think about that.
Listen, nigga, two niggas start beefing. Lights go out. God damn, that's crazy.
I mean, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard. It might be that. It might be that. That way you know when a nigga ain't doing good in the crib. You know what I'm saying? Damn, his bitch talking too much. They lights is out. All right,
yeah. Niggas know. Nah, niggas know. Like that's how they gonna know. Like, damn, yeah.
They're arguing. They lights flickering.
Yeah.
Lights going on and on.
He trying to calm her down. Look, he trying to calm her down. She not having it. Nigga. Oh damn, lights on and off. The car outside. The car outside. Oh, the alarm beeping on the damn car outside.
Right, you know what I'm saying? You walking down the street with your little peace torch. You walking down the street lighting your way, and then you see these lights flickering in there. Them niggas in there tweaking. That's what is happening. Them niggas in there fighting. I don't know.
Peace light. You retarded, bro. You fucking retarded.
You know what I'm saying? Like, eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard.
You might be on to something though. It's powered by peace. Shalom.
Powered by peace. Shalom, my nigga. Shalom. Shalom.
Wow. Hey, shout out to the Bears. Kari in the building. Got Bayana, Bayunion. Hey, Nazamana Shalom says, I'm gonna be out there in Shreveport. I know you say you're in New Orleans. I'm gonna be out there in Shreveport this weekend. You know what I'm saying? With all the brothers. I mean, big up to Officer Kawan. He's having his baby shower this weekend. So big up to him. Can I get a hand clap for the brother?
Yeah.
Big up to Officer Kawan. We'll be out there, man, for camp. And hopefully, you know, I can make it to the baby shower as well. So I'll see y'all out there. I hope to see you out there. What else? So what else on the agenda? I want to talk about Kamala Harris just for a second.
Who?
Kamala Harris.
Talk about who?
I don't even know.
Did you say Kamala?
Kamala. Yeah.
Kamala, man.
Kamala.
Whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about it, man. I'm not, you know. I don't know.
No, we're not gonna talk about it. We already got the nose have it.
Talk about it.
The nays have it.
All right, we ain't gonna talk about it.
So we're gonna talk about Obama instead. No, just nah, but for real, no, for real though. Like on some real shit. I just want to touch on it briefly. No Diddy. So there was a story about Barack Obama coming out and saying that basically the same mantra that Joe Biden took up when he was running. If you don't vote for Kamala Harris, you're not black. You understand? On top, and then followed that up by saying that black men are misogynists if they don't want to vote for a black woman. Two things, right? Kamala Harris is not black. Obama is not black. And how dare this is just like Joe Biden telling black people who to vote for. How dare anybody who's not black tell anybody what it means to be black just because you don't vote for somebody? Like, we need to stop selling our damn identity so cheap.
birthright.
stand up. Like why I hate that we so goddamn gullible and cheap. You understand? Like they use us at every chance, every time. The only last night they on Black Watch, they were saying how politicians only say they're helping you, promise you help when they need your vote. It's like for the 3 years in between voting, nothing gets done for Black people. No promises get made, and the promises that were made don't get fulfilled. You understand? And then every 4 years, they turn around and start promising us shit, and then start insulting our intelligence by saying that you're not Black if you don't vote for so and so, and you, how dare you not vote, and vote or die. Like nigga, we've been voting and still dying. How much we got to vote? We vote for somebody every 4 years, and every time we get a knife in our back, we get another Black man killed, Black woman killed by the cops. It just don't stop, but yet we still think that voting is going to do something for us. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Can I read something real quick? One of the biggest things is
your show too, my nigga.
Black people don't understand how the office works. So this is how they get bribed, because someone like Kamala Harris will come along, or any candidate for that matter, for the last 200 years, they'll come along and say, hey, I want to do this and I want to do that. And Black people, we thinking like, oh, because we don't understand how Congress work, we don't understand how the government structure work. We think it's just a matter of, okay, they said they're gonna do this, when they get in there, they're gonna do it. No, they still have to answer to people. Regardless of Kamala Harris wanting to do something, that shit still got to pass through the Senate. It still got to pass through the Congress. They're not the president is not the one that comes in there and says, this is what I want to do, and this is going to be done, right? So look, who decides what laws are passed? Article 1 of the U.S. Constitution grants all legislative powers to a bicameral Congress, a House of Representatives and Senate that are the result of a great compromise seeking to balance the effects of popular majorities with the interests of the states. What does that mean? You got a group of people making, the president will have an idea and take it to the Congress, take it to the Senate. They're the ones that's going to have to be like, we got to vote on it. We got to vote on it. And what happens is they have this, they run you with that idea. People put them in office with okay, Kamala Harris going to take this to the Congress. She going to take this to the Senate. She will do that. She will take it. But guess what? If the Congress or the Senate say, hey, we're not doing that shit, guess what? Now Black people like, oh, you said you was going to do this for her. It's not in her hands to do. She just telling you what she finna go ask everybody, can she do. That president is just asking you, is just telling you what he's going to go ask the people that's really in control what we can do. You feel what I'm saying? So when Black people are not understanding how that works, you can easily get duped by somebody saying, hey, I'm gonna do this when I get in there, I'm gonna do this when I get in there. And they use the verbiage, but at reality, they get in there and then they get voted on, and then 100 of them representatives, them niggas in there like, hell no, we not doing that, nigga. Get that out of here. And so now he got to be like, well, I tried, y'all. I asked them, but they said no. But you already gave this nigga the power. That's how it works.
Yeah. And then when he turn around and change his mind about his policies, don't be stupid and think, don't be stupid and think that he ever had you in mind. Like that president never had you in mind. He knew what he could do and what he couldn't do, really, from the jump.
Right.
A lot of times, y'all think that these politicians are like, you think that for 500 years, America's been having presidents and they don't know what they can and can't do in America.
Right.
You don't think that they know their limitations and they know what they could do for Americans? Don't you think they would have done everything that they could do if they knew they could do it?
Right.
These politicians know what they can do. And not only that, like the president ain't the only one that can push policies. You know what I'm saying? Like the Congress itself can push policies and just have it signed by the president. Like
right.
States can push policies in their own state. Governors can push policies in their own states that can change the way things are done in their state. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just push it to the president to get it approved. So all of this time, all I'll say is this, man. Y'all, black people, as much as we wanted to be in this whole political conversation, as much as we wanted to be able to vote and stuff, we know nothing about voting. We know nothing about
We don't.
politics, and we know
We
nothing
don't.
about power. Power is
We don't.
not given; it's taken, man. You take power, you take it. You don't give it away. Like white people are never going to give black people power. It's not going to happen because giving black people power takes away power from white people. As long as they have
Right.
power over black people, they stay in power. The moment we get some power is when we'll overthrow them. Look at basketball. Look at boxing. Look at rapping. Look at music. Look at science. Are you telling me that we're
Right.
incapable of overpowering them if we have the power to do so? You can't give us an ounce of power or we'll take all of it. And that's what they know.
Right. Right. And then the biggest thing, Salaki, if I could, and the biggest thing is because we're uneducated about that, when the different states can have different laws, believe it or not. But the only thing that binds them all that they can't cross is what? The Constitution. They can create any law they want in those individual states as long as it doesn't violate the Constitution. See, once the Constitution gets into play, that's when, okay, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. So black people's hunger is to vote, but the immediate vote is your legislative people within your city. To be honest, if we were voting people, the people that you really want to vote for is the people that's within your city that affect your everyday life, right? So you want to put black people there because they feel like they're trying to find a candidate, right? A black candidate that can get in there and because the same practice that happens in the U.S. government is the same practice that happens within the city and the state. Those things still have to be voted on. There's still a governing body within your city and your state that votes on these things. But you also have an in-between that makes sure that it doesn't go against the Constitution, right? So
exactly,
black people, and their hope is get somebody black in there, and they're going to overturn or put in place laws and practices that will benefit black people. And since the beginning of time, we have not seen that. Because for what how can I put it? For the vast majority of everything, most of the things that black people could possibly want, because they have the U.S. Constitution, may go against somebody else's constitutional right, another race and their constitutional right. See, a constitutional right is kind of like, it doesn't give a damn whether you black, white, any of those things. It doesn't matter. But at the city state level, when you putting those people in place, that's when it actually matters. So black people are always grasping at straws trying to find that candidate. That's why when Barack Obama went in there, they like, oh yeah, policy's about to change. It's about to be on for niggas. And it wasn't. Because even he is not stronger than the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? That's the governing body. If you don't believe what I'm saying, look the shit up. Pull up your Google machine, do your research, come back and tell me I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. And that's the facts, Jack. So now we can move on. Just wanted to touch on that. But now, my bad. One more thing. Kamala Harris bribing niggas for votes with the right to sell weed legally. Right. Yep. She not like, she's running her campaign based off of what she thinks black people are. It's more proof that she's not black herself. She thinks that she know what black people want to be able to sell weed. What the hell? No. That's not what black people want. How many weed dispensaries shops do you know that are owned by black people?
Right.
Like, they already have weed dispensary shops. How many of them are owned by white people, black people? Majority of them are owned by white people, if not all of them. I don't know. I don't go to fucking weed shops anyway, so I wouldn't know who the owner is anyway. But from what I've seen, and if you go to like one of those smoke shops, you know what I'm saying, where they sell like bongs and hookahs and whatever the case is. The people that usually own them shops is white people. It's a camp at our camp spot in Tampa. Next door is a damn weed shop or CBD shop. You think a nigga own that? A nigga don't own that. Some white man own that. So I don't understand where she gets the idea that black people just want to own dispensary shops so bad from. That's not something we want. Nigga, we want to be able to go outside and not get harassed by a cop. Can you make that happen? Can you make it so that a felon who has non-violent crimes on his record can get a job? Can you make that happen? Like, these are simple things. It's nothing. You don't need a fucking weed shop. Nobody needs that shit. Nobody needs Bitcoin. Niggas don't even know how to use Bitcoin. A nigga need to be able to start his own business with felonies, a legal business. Shawty said she locked up blacks for having weed. Exactly. This is the same woman who locked niggas up for selling weed in the first place. How you gonna turn around? Oh, that's why I remember what I wanted to bring out too about Kamala Harris. This motherfucker got on camera some years ago, or a little while ago, and she was basically saying that she doesn't want to control what people drive. But before that, she was saying, yeah, everybody's going to drive a gas, gas-free car or emissions-free vehicles by 2025. Like, you don't know what the hell your campaign is on, but niggas will believe anything she says because she claims she's black. And if she was really black, niggas wouldn't support her because niggas hate niggas in the first place.
Yeah.
So I know she not a nigga because niggas hate niggas. But niggas love Kamala.
Yeah.
She don't know what the hell black people want.
Would y'all ever eat her collard greens in the tub?
Huh?
Don't even make me barf right now.
You said her what? Her collard greens out the tub?
Collard greens.
Yeah.
Out the tub. Gotta grab it. You gotta grab the goop scoop. You gotta grab the goop scooper and scoop you some bathtub collard greens about the tub.
I don't know. Do y'all know somebody that cook greens in the tub or put food in the tub? Y'all know anybody that do that? Y'all ever heard anybody do that?
Nobody ever. Sink is the worst I've ever seen. Niggas get in trouble for putting their food in the sink.
Right.
That's
and I've seen that.
Right. Yeah.
I've seen that. And so, and I really don't have too much of a problem with that to a certain degree if it's a clean sink. You know what I mean? I get it.
Right. I get you.
But a bathtub, I haven't seen that. So anybody in the chat that's, from wherever you from, if you seen that shit, let us know. But
man,
what I will say is that.
Well, my bad.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you might as well just clean the toilet bowl out real good and use that.
It's right next to it. I don't know you know what I'm saying? Unless you in a bathroom where the tub is 4 yards away from the toilet, maybe. But I mean, listen, East Indians are, to me, one of the closest things to the washing pot. And we all know who the washing pot is.
Mm-hmm.
They do some things very similar. So
do we have to play some East Indian street food videos?
Yo, listen, no, I don't want to throw up. But they real close to the washing pot. And we know the washing pot is like, the Japanese and the, the Chinese, like they are considered the washing pot in the scripture. So, they do a lot of nasty stuff. Like, like, why would you have your food in a bathroom where, fecal matter and all type shit is floating in the air? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you, Like, that's just nasty.
Why would your first thought be, oh, the tub? It's so many other options.
No. And when she made those, that was the last time she made greens. No, everybody got sick. They told her ass never to make greens again. She ain't never made no greens since then. That's why that was the first memory she had, because that was the last memory she had. Everybody got sick eating that bullshit. Like, why are we throwing up? Because it's shit in them greens. Because she made them right by the toilet. That's why.
It's some shitty greens, man. It's some shitty greens. But I'm saying,
what I'm saying? The sink make. I understand that. I seen my mama. I've seen that happen in the sink, but the kitchen sink. But man, y'all better stop listening to Kamala, man. Y'all better stop listening.
You could have went and got a goddamn cooler, a big test cooler, and put them in the damn cooler before you went to the bathroom. What the hell is wrong with you?
Right. Or just take your goddamn time and wash what you can wash and put the other ones on and wash these. You move those. You can just take your goddamn time. Are you cooking for 300 plus people? Are you cooking for 300 plus people?
I was about to say, like, how many people you cooking for? How many goddamn people you cooking for? The way you got to use a tub. Like my mama even say, like she overcompensates sometimes. Like she'll get some collard greens, thinking, yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of people over, so I want to have enough collard greens. She they cutting them up, clean them in the sink and stuff, and be like, damn, this too many collard greens in the sink.
Right, right, exactly.
That's too many collard greens. So you tell
was she cooking for all of East India?
Right. Like
how many
the
greens
whole
y'all eating?
Taj Mahal.
Is this
the whole
all y'all had was sides?
Yeah.
Where was the meat at? Pause. All y'all had was sides. All y'all had was greens. Like that was the favorite. Like you could go to Dollar Tree right now and get a 45-gallon tub for $1. My nigga, like I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
I can't wrap my mind around it.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous as hell.
She literally put her feet in it. Legs, ass, back, head, dandruff, everything in that mug. It's horrible.
You say my stomach bubbling.
It's true. It's true.
Oh my god. You can see my stomach bubbling. That's funny. I wouldn't even drink coffee from 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven coffee sucks. It really does. I regret drinking 7-Eleven coffee. I really do.
Bruh, I can't even listen.
No,
I'd rather pay the extra to go to Starbucks.
Yeah. Nah, real talk. Real talk. If I had to choose, Dunkin' Donuts too. Dunkin' Donuts is ass.
Especially up in Jersey.
Ugh. Oh man.
Yo, my first Passover, we went to Jersey, and me and Gabba War. This is me and Gabba War. We was young men at the time. Me and him walked to this Dunkin' Donuts in the snow. We walked over there. And oh my God, was that the worst shit we ever did? That was the worst Dunkin' Donuts we ever had up in Jersey. It was bad, man. It was like, not only, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get off of it, but not only is the service bad, but you gotta walk in there and your first thought is like, when the last time any of you niggas put deodorant on? Like, it's not none of your, you know what I mean? Y'all got herbs and spices. You can't cover that up with that. Like, I don't want to drink my coffee. That's weird.
So you saying the first question you have in an establishment owned by East Indians is not about the food. It's not about their beverages and nothing they serving. It's about their hygiene.
Yes, because black people, me and Gabba War walking in there, as black people, the first thing we look at is hygiene. We are a clean people, believe it or not. We taught these other people, like, listen, you need to wash your ass before you do anything that you're doing. These niggas just get up out the bed and just go to work. Like, yeah, like, how would you like your coffee? Like, nigga, first of all, did you wash up this morning?
I would like it not musky, please. Damn.
Nigga, right guard, degree, whatever you got to do. Like, I know y'all don't do that, but at least put the herbs and spices on there. Nobody want to eat their food like that. I'm just saying that was my experience.
East Indian. I seen an East Indian dude like in one of them street vendor videos. This motherfucker, he making the food, right? He making the food, but as he's making it, he's holding it under his arm, so it's stay free.
Hell no. Hell no.
It's over.
Hell no.
It's over. I'm done.
Nah, B. Nah. It's an East Indian store at my corner, and I go in there, and some days I'm like, bruh, this can't be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get what your heritage is and all of that, but it got to make you uncomfortable. No matter what you say, right, about how your culture is, the Most High automatically made smells the Most High made things that smell good and things that smell bad. Period. If you think about how dynamic and how intricate the world is, there are things that smell good, there are things that smell bad. You can't tell me that 99%, 95% of humans say, nigga, you musty, and then another 5% saying this is how we are. No, you know that shit smell bad. You know it smell bad. But you getting money, and we paying them niggas to be musty. We paying them to be musty. We doing that.
It's like you used to rent a cab just to smell musk.
You feel what I'm saying?
Like, yeah,
Listen,
I can't
get a job if I'm musty. I can't get a job. I can't get a job, a girlfriend, a friend, a nigga that'll have my back if I'm musty. You don't even fuck with niggas that's musty.
Can't ride in my car if you musky, my nigga.
But yet they have businesses, and we accept that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, it's just, I don't know. Salaki.
Yeah. And if you do get in the car and you musky, just know I'm cracking that fucking window and I'm letting you know. Oh damn, it's musky in here, and I'm be saying it constantly, consecutively. Like, yeah, it's musky in here. Yeah, I gotta let the window open. You let down your window, the one closer to you. Yeah, the one right next to you. That one, the one you sitting next to. Open that window wide.
Nigga, get out. How about that? Let me drive myself. Get out.
Oh shit.
Get the hell out. Jesus.
How we went from talking about Kamala Harris to musky Indians, man.
I mean, we talking about the East Indians, you know what I'm saying? Like, she not black. I don't care what nobody say. And even if she was, that's what I wanted to say too. Because Barack said that we are misogynists if we don't vote for her. So if we don't vote for this one woman who we have discrepancies about her ethnicity, then we hate all women. Talk about the generalities, man. Like, think about how they're trying to manipulate people. Oh, you hate women if you don't vote for this specific woman. I don't know that bitch. Crazy. I don't have to vote for her. Right. And that don't mean I hate women, because that's what a misogynist is, right? Somebody who hate women. But but Barack Obama, not being black himself, probably on TikTok and just learning new words, and misogyny just happened to be one of the words that he learned.
Well, there's rumors
about 2 or 3 years behind.
Yeah, man. There's rumors that his wife ain't really a woman, so we're gonna see who really hate women.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
Let me not. Yeah.
He should go live like Shannon Sharp. That's what he need to do.
You gotta go live.
He gonna have to go live like Shannon Sharp.
Hey, you gonna hear Michelle in the background? That's right, Obama. That's right.
Prove it,
President Obama. I salute you.
That's a woman,
I'm sorry. Now, let me not do that.
Yeah, that's a woman.
Not,
I think
my opinions do not reflect the opinions of war as usual.
Yo, all right, no, I'm done with it, man. I just wanted to bring that out. Like, you know, they're not going to accept us for the things that we do and our cultural things. Whether they agree with them or not, they are the first ones, whether it be East Indian, whether it be African, whether it be Caucasian, whoever it is, whether it be Chinese, Japanese, they're the first ones to bring out what black people do, blacks and Hispanics and natives, and have an issue with it. But when we talk about what they do, it's about their culture, it's about the way they are, and we're supposed to accept it. We do not have to accept that shit. We don't.
Well, speaking of the Obama's relationship, our next topic, right? I'm gonna go straight into it. Is our relationships today unfixable? And can relationships return from their, cheating, one, and domestic violence, two?
Yes. Good question.
Oh, also before we go into it, I put the link in the chat if you want to jump in and talk about it as well with us. You know what I'm saying? If you are more than welcome to give it a shot. The link is in the chat, streamyard.com. So yeah, if you down, you know what I'm saying, just hit the link and join us in this conversation. Go ahead, you got it.
Nah, y'all go. Yeah, I let Officer Tower shout in on that because we've been talking. Yeshaya, you a fool, cuz he said if she become president, she's open 7-Eleven at the White House. Yo, that's a musty affair.
That's crazy. A must not a must see. No, musty, nigga.
Must see TV.
Shit. So yeah, can they be faced, man? Cheating, man. Let's talk about cheating. Let's talk about sex. Listen, man. Cheating. First of all, I want everybody to know cheating is not a real thing. Black men don't cheat. All right. There's no such thing as cheating. If a black man's doing it, there's no such thing as cheating. I know a lot of y'all probably having your bubbles burst right now. You're probably not, you're probably about to hit unsubscribe and try to cancel me, but you can't cancel real shit. That's the problem. And that's some real shit. Cheating does not exist. Why? Because a man was made to have multiple wives. He was made for it. Now, if he chooses not to, then that's his prerogative. But cheating is not real. Now, when you start to realize, hey, well, a man is what's the word? Biologically created for polygyny, then you'll start to realize, okay, well, I can't be mad at him for wanting other women. I can't be upset and use that as an excuse to leave or argue with him. You know what I'm saying? I just have to accept it, even though I don't like it. Maybe I'll focus on something different. Maybe I'll turn my attention to something else. So I'm not constantly obsessing over his other relationships. I mean, and that's what'll fix your household. That's what'll fix your marriage. Don't obsess about what your man is doing with other women. You be the woman that he doesn't want to leave. That's what you should do. You should be the woman that he would regret. You should be the woman that he doesn't get another woman on. You get what I'm saying? Like he doesn't. He's so proud of being with you, and you give him everything he could ever see in a woman that he has no need to go and find another woman. Not that he won't, but he has no need to.
I was gonna say that's a tough.
But you want to speak on
One.
that? Lee?
Now I'm gonna let Officer Tower shot because
Why you say
me
that?
and you've been talking for like 25 minutes. Go ahead, sir. What's your take
Yeah,
on that?
fact.
Shit. Nah, I'm in full agreement. Yeah, you know, you know, multiple wives is a thing, or multiple, I don't know, whatever. Dating multiple women is a thing. But I would say that you can, even as a polygyny, I think you can cheat on the woman, though. I'll throw that out there.
I agree.
I think you can. I think there's a
Why?
possibility.
Break it down. Baba
I
Kusha.
say that. I say that because let's say you set the foundation for the woman that you're sleeping with to let her know that yeah, I'm polygyny based on such and such. This is my belief. This is my practice. Now, let's say you get another woman that you don't lay the same foundation with, and you just using it, or you just lay with her just for that purpose and put away the other one. That's basically cheating. Like you cheated the one you were sleeping with out of, you know, you cheated her. You dig what I'm saying? You
The new
basically,
one.
you
You
know,
you you cheated the new one.
you said what?
I said
Is
I'm
it?
asking you cheated the new one.
Nah, the one you're already sleeping with. All right, like let's say you lay the foundation. I'll use first and second. Let's say you get your first rib, you lay the foundation with her, and she's on board on your belief, but you get a second rib that you don't have the same requirements for. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, you're cheating her out uh, of her, you know, staying solid for with you in the first place or what you believe in. Like you lied basically. Like the other one, you be like, nah, you know, only with you. I'm not polygamous. I do this, do that. And then the first one, you telling her, yeah, I'm about polygamy. I get multiple wives. It's like you cheating her out of, her right as a wife. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I don't know. If you get what I'm saying.
I'm a little confused. You saying the first one you tell her that you polygynous, the second one you don't, and the second one is the one that you only being with her because you want sex.
No, the second one you lied, basically. That's what I said.
The
Yeah.
second one you lying and saying you're not polygynous, like you don't have another wife, is what you tell her that you don't have
Break it down,
another
Lapiata, if you
woman.
get what I'm trying to say. My bad, my bad. I don't, I'm not, that intellectual. But go ahead,
No, you
Lapiata.
saying it. You saying it. That's what it
What?
is. That's what it is.
He said he's
That's
not that
exactly.
intellectual. That is a farce. That is incorrect.
But yeah,
That was
I was,
probably the least intellectual thing you've ever said. Salaki. Forgive me. Forgive your brother though.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think if you, I'll take it a step forward. I'll take it a step forward. I'm gonna magnify my office. I think that if you set the premise, yeah, this right here, just what he said. You cheating her out of having a choice to be part of what should be polygyny or not, right? So if you meet a woman and you give her the expectation, because let's be honest, most of the time when relationships end, they end on the note of the woman calling the man what? A liar. You calling him a liar.
Yeah.
You cheated, right? And they say the fact that you cheated, but the biggest part is that you lied about it. So at the end of most relationships, that's what a man is really considered, is to be a liar. If you go in and if you go in standing on truth, then she has no room to call you a liar. Right? The cheating aspect comes in is that you set this woman up to think, okay, it's just going to be me and you forever. It's just us, which is a bad thing to do, because as a man, you don't know how that's going to change for you, but you still going off the Christian mindset, and some of that will still be in you. So you're going to say it. You're going to say it because you really like this woman, whether it's how she look, how she treats you. You're going to say what you think she needs to hear. When you go in and tell her it's only going to be y'all, and then let's say after a year, 2 years pass, and you like, man, I know what I said, but right now nature is taking over. My nature is taking over. It's taking over what I said. And 9 times out of 10, men are going to lean on their nature versus their word in that regard. And that's only in that specific scenario. They're going to lean on that. And now you're faced with going against your nature or going against your word. And most niggas is going to choose going against their word because they can always apologize and say whatever. But at that point, you cheating on her because you told her that it was just going to be y'all. And that's what she went into this relationship thinking, and you changed.
Question. So what if you don't believe in polygyny, right? Let's say like you a brother in the world and you don't believe in polygyny, meaning you don't want another woman, or at least in your mind you think you don't want another woman, and so you tell women that like, nah, I ain't into that. I'm monogamous. I love a woman, like I just want to be with the woman I'm with. But then eventually you do, right? Should you tell that person that you're dealing with, even though you believe in being in a monogamous relationship, do you tell that woman, well, it's a possibility that I might end up being polygynous, but right now I just want you? Or do you just say, hey, yeah, look, I just want you, I'm monogamous, and then you tell her later on in the relationship, hey, I know I told you I'm monogamous. I know I told you I only want one woman, but lately I've been thinking about becoming polygynous. What do you do?
I mean, see how that works out for you. Tell her, like, yo, I'm about to be polygynous. You know what I mean? And she's rocking with it, then she's rocking with it. But the whole thing is, the premise is that you already set the foundation. on who you are. Now, if you a nigga that don't believe in polygamy, then you just a nigga that don't believe in polygamy. You got only one wife, and that's how you rock. That's no problem. That's fine and dandy. You dig what I'm saying? That's your foundation. You know what I mean? Anything outside of that, like I'm just using the word cheating as is in its truest form. Like you're cheating
Yeah.
that person out of like cheating is not just, sleeping with somebody else. That's
Right.
we use the word because you did something to manipulate their trust. That's what a
Right.
cheater does. You cheat in a video game.
Facts. I
They
agree.
they expect you to play fair, but you cheated. You get what I'm saying? You did something
Yeah.
to get it the easy way. And
Right. I
and
agree
it
with
could
that.
be done. I feel like it could be done both ways, whether monogamous or polygamous. Like now, of course, you getting multiple wives is not cheating. You know what I'm saying? But if you a nigga who has that as your foundation, you should stand on it at all times. Basically, is what I'm saying.
Right. I agree. I agree. And I'm glad you use it as a video game because even in games you can stipulate what changes you want made. Like, hey, we're gonna play this game, but this is how I want it to go. You know what I'm saying? This is allowed. This is
Exactly.
not allowed. You know what I mean? And so
Exactly.
that's a good analogy.
So for men, because we always talk about like when you talk to a woman, you know what I'm saying, like you rapping, you know what I'm saying, like you spitting your game, you know what I'm saying. So really when you spitting your game, that should be part of the game. And the reason the cheating come in because just like a video game, the video game has certain parameters. This is how you're supposed to go. You're supposed to move forward like this. You're supposed to press X at this time. You're supposed to press A at this time. But if you do something outside of what the game parameters are to win, then yes, you're cheating. So if in your game, when you rapping to a woman or you telling a woman like, hey, yo, I'm trying to do this and do that and do that. And then in the midst of that game, you like, yeah, but I don't mess with other women. It's just me. And, I just want to be that nigga that's just with you. And that's just what it is. Cause a lot of niggas do that because they know that's what women want to hear. You go along later on and you change that, you cheated because that was not the game you laid down. If you're going to be that type of nigga, you got to lay that game down in the foundation so they know what game they are playing. But a lot of times it's because niggas are afraid to lose. They have the mindset of scarcity. A lot of times niggas fantasize over women they ain't even with. You see a woman, you never seen, like for men, I'm gonna just put this out there, it's kind of side note, but it's on the same subject. For men, you in your general area, let's say you in your city, you on your block. Before social media, the only women that you saw were the women that were either at school, church, or in your immediate area. So for you, women look this type of way. This is the baddest woman. Like if it was a girl on your block, if it was a girl at your church, this was probably the baddest woman you ever seen. So now you start looking at that woman, you like, yeah, I gotta have her. Once social media happened, you got a chance to see a variety of women that look a bunch of different ways, have a bunch of different attitudes, have a bunch of different that. So my point is, once you start down that path and you drop your game as being a monogamous dude, and then now you get out into the world and you see all this other stuff, I think to your point, to your question, I think the best thing to do would be to have that conversation and be ready to lose. You got to be ready to lose. You know what I'm saying? But what's better? The better thing is to be honest and lose than to be found a liar. And those are the two things that men struggle with. Do I try to get away with it and eventually, because I think in most men's mindset, they probably like, this is happening, nature is taking over, I'm a mess with her. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna tell her because I don't want to lose her, because I know what I said. But I can start with her, you know what I'm saying, be with her and see where this go. You understand what I'm saying? And most times both of them become serious. So the best thing to do is to be ready to lose and tell that woman that you told, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I know what I said 2-3 years ago, but this has changed, and be prepared to lose her, because that's, 9 times out of 10 what's going to happen. That's the man way to go about it. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually you're not gonna be able to keep up that role. You're not gonna be able to. You can't, pick up that. Keep playing that role like that. You know what I mean? And that's where niggas get caught up at.
Probably
Can lust play a role?
So
You want to
my
answer
bad,
that?
I froze up a little bit. That's a good question.
Y'all want to tackle it?
Yeah. I mean, y'all
Clarity,
go
right?
ahead.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Mic check. Y'all can hear me? Oh, okay. Now I was gonna ask for clarity. Like, she's saying, can lust play a role in cheating?
Can I just answer off what she put?
Or can lust play a role in
Because I hear that a lot.
relationships failing, or like what specifically is?
And I'm gonna be honest, because what I hear this not the sister. I'm not talking about the sister. I'm just saying what I've heard in my experience. A lot of women think that like when men deal with women, it's just about lust. What you have to understand what lust is, first of all, because in the Christian church, lust is always deemed as a bad thing, right? The word lust is deemed as a bad thing, but what is the definition of lust, right? If you look up the definition of lust, it says very strong sexual desire. The second one is have a very strong sexual desire for someone, right? Lust is bad when you have that strong desire for someone that belongs to somebody else. You can have lust for your woman. You can have lust for a single woman. But even if it's in wanting another wife, having that lust towards a single woman is not a bad thing. It's just a strong sexual desire, which our men are going to feel. Women feel the same way too. I'm not saying they act on it as much as men. We don't know. According to the numbers, it's about even. But to be honest with you, lust has always been deemed as a bad thing. But lust is neither negative or positive until the person uses it a certain type of way. It's like a gun. A gun could be used to protect, but it also could be used to rob somebody. One way it could be good, one way it could be bad. So with lust, you may see a woman that you have a strong sexual desire for, and you may want her. And now for that man, it's up to you to inquire more. It should not just be based on lust. It should be based on many factors. But lust can play a part to drive, because as men, if you see a woman that you have a strong sexual desire, it's going to make you want to inquire. So in that regards, lust is not bad. But if that woman belongs to somebody else and you lusting after her, that's when lust is bad. So that's when we have to understand what lust is, and not just thinking from I'm not saying the sister saying that, but I'm saying from the Christian mindset, all lust is bad. For you to have sex with your wife, you need a certain level of lust. I don't care what nobody tell you. You need that. You need a strong sexual desire. Otherwise, it becomes a chore. Who have sex just because it's just, oh shit, it's Tuesday at 3. Who the fuck want to, Salakia? Who want to do that? It's Tuesday at 3. Let me go ahead and find this lust that I need to have sex with this woman. No, you want that strong sexual desire, so it could go either way. Depending on how you use it.
I agree. It's part of the human nature. Like it's like any other emotion. You get what I'm saying? You angry, all of that stuff. Now, anger is not bad, but how you use your anger can determine if it's bad or not. So, like you said, of course, the woman that you made your wife, man, I mean, most people would want a desire, to sleep with them. You dig what I'm saying? And most people want that feeling for themselves from their spouse as well, too. You dig what I'm saying? But like you said, it's not the main factor. It is not the main. No, at least a wise man, what I mean? An honest man should not go out and just make it the main factor. Now, it does play a role. It does play a role, but it's not the main ingredient. It's not. It can't be. Or else your ass gonna be.
That's in that. That's why I kind of wanted a little more clarity on what the role was. Play a role in what. because like going back to what Lapia said, like lust is cool. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have some lust, but lust shouldn't be your only desire because lust goes away after you fulfilled that lust. It goes away. It'll be back, but
Oh shit.
Why you breaking up?
it'll be back.
You breaking up.
He always quotes Cam Desire. Can y'all hear me better now? Is this better?
Yeah, it's just
Kind
kind
of
of choppy.
weird. Yeah, it was choppy.
It's a little choppy. No sweat. I'm gonna try to get through it. So Captain Zarya, tends to, bring the topic up about the Earth, Wind, and Fire song. And it goes after the love is gone, what used to be right was wrong, and love is is damn, I'm fucking up the words. But basically, the song is about lust and how once it's fulfilled, it goes away. You know what I'm saying? So now when lust goes away, what else? It was just lust. Like you just wanted to have sex with her, and now that you've done that, it's no that you don't even want to be around her. You don't want to talk to her. You don't want to,
Right.
you don't want nothing to do with her because it was just for the lust. And that is what's wrong. That's what's bad. That's going to cause you to divorce your wife. And or however you look at it, that's just a woman to use. You don't see sex as marriage. Well, truth be told, sex is marriage according to the Bible. So yeah, but like if you dealing with this woman, you have sex with her just based off of lust, and that's the only thing that you're going to have, and that goes back to cheating. But now you're cheating yourself as well. You're cheating yourself out of having what you could have had you gotten to know that woman that you lust for, because she's probably a great woman. She's probably excellent. She's probably better and better than all of the other women that you've ever known or laid with. You know what I'm saying? She's probably better than all of them, and all she needed was for you to get to know her. You know what I'm saying? All she needed was for you to find out what her interests are, what her career goals are, like what type of meals she can cook, how she wants to support and worship you damn near. You know what I mean? Like you could have found all that out, but instead, because you just had a sexual desire and that was it, you had no intentions of getting to know her and what none of that, you cheating yourself. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
is what it is.
And and instead of like for example, like that's why it's so imperative that these conversations are had. And as men, why it's important to have men in the homes. You know what I'm saying? Like these are like domino effects. Like all these things that we talk about become like domino effects. So that's why you have so many broken homes too, to a certain degree, because you have a man who may act on his lust and like her because she got a fat ass, you know what I'm saying, or she got a pretty smile or nice legs, or she just nice, you know what I'm saying, and then you have sex with her and then you realize that, okay, I hate her ass on Thursdays. You know what I'm saying? Like you realize, like, okay, this bitch chew with her mouth open and I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like you don't know, but you done already made that connection with her. You know what I'm saying? So now, while you done made that connection and she's, attached to you, now you ready to disconnect off something that's very, some arbitrary reason that you just like, you know what, I don't feel like dealing with her. So, enough of that continues to happen in our community. You're going to have some broken homes, some fatherless homes, some motherless homes you're going to have because, the lust takes over and it becomes a deciding factor of a lifelong mate. When really that's why even in the UPK, that's why it's that time that you're supposed to take. Because if you just automatically jump into the lust, yeah, you're gonna see somebody you like, you automatically jump into the lust. Now you attach to that person for the rest of your life. But guess what? If you wait a little bit, like I said, you'll find out, like, I like her on Mondays, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I do not like how she is. And we ain't had sex yet. You ain't got to deal with it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and so a lot of brothers just going off their animal instinct, which again is how the scriptures say, like, if you're not spiritual, you carnal. So if you in the carnal state and you making all your decisions in a carnal state, you know, it's gonna be based off stuff like smell, touch, you know, taste, you know, things that always seem good to you at the moment, but in the long run, those things wear off. Those things wear off. So
Yeah, facts. It's like any other emotion. It's just temporary. You know what I'm saying?
right.
But you know, emotions without restraint will always lead to chaos.
Yeah.
Even with your
Yeah.
lust, you need restraint for it. You gotta have restraint in
Right.
any emotion. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but how do we fix all this? How do we fix relationships in today's time? What do we do?
How do we fix it?
What do we? How do we fix the love a
Well,
man has for his woman and love that a woman has for her man?
communication. If you want anything in life, you have to communicate. They say a closed mouth don't get fed, right? You gotta communicate. You know what I'm saying? You gotta lay, like we was talking about, laying down rules and what this is what's allowed and this is what's not. Like that type of stuff has to get communicated. And if those rules change at any point in time, that too has to be communicated. And a lot of marriages would be saved if it were for communication, but not just, oh, I'm this how I feel today. I don't feel like doing this today. I don't feel like that's not the communication that it takes. The communication it takes is if she come to you and tell you, hey, look, you know what I'm saying, this is how I feel about something that, is going on, and this is my take on it. You hear it, and then you resolve it. You know what I'm saying? Now that might be a compromise to where, hey, look, I understand how you feel, but this is my stance on this, and that's not gonna change. But if you feel some type of way about it, then I'll do this. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, I'm not speaking on nothing specific, but whatever it is, you know what I mean? You just gotta communicate it out. You know what I'm saying? And if it's vice versa, you gotta communicate it out. Or she got to be able to say, well, I can't change on my stance with this, so maybe when you're doing that, I'll just go in the other room. Maybe I'll just I'll go occupy my time somewhere else. I understand that this is your thing, this is what you do. I'm gonna just have to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But whatever the result is, you got to communicate. You got to get counseling. You got to have somebody who knows more than both of y'all about y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that they can say, well, listen, I see what's going on. I see both of y'all points. And me on the outside, having nothing to do with y'all life, I think this is the best plan for y'all. And then you take that counsel, you take that advice, and you live by it. You know what I'm saying? Because the only thing that's going to destroy your relationship is you. Nothing else. Your girlfriends, like that woman's friends telling her shit about her. Nobody, none of that shit is going to ruin that relationship, but you. Like you the only one that can ruin your relationship. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to fix it, you got to communicate. You got to get righteous counsel, and you got to stick to that counsel. That's one way.
Yeah. Shit. I
Um,
agree.
yeah.
Go ahead, Lapierre.
No, go ahead, sir.
No, you got it. You got it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, since he took it on a relationship level, I'll just say it as a nation, right? As a nation, what it's going to take is solidarity amongst men and women alone. And what do I mean by that? If the world, okay, let's say if all the women could do what they want, like if certain women could do what they want, like if they want to be able to, if the world was comprised of women that's just able to sleep with whoever they want to, like women don't have to be, selected to one man and one man alone, they can just sleep around. The world is in chaos, right? If you took men and men are able to gain multiple women without any of the nobody sleeping with his woman, he not sleeping with nobody else woman, the world is at peace. Think about that. So what do we want? We need for the men to be in solidarity, understanding that we don't want no hoes.
Facts.
You need men on one accord to say, listen, and that will filter out, because guess what? Until Christ come back, there's always going to be hoes. We're not going to be able to exterminate hoes. We're not going to be able to. But what we want to do is filter out the good ones in there. We need the good women to come out of the pack of hoes so they can get wifed up. That's what we need, right? We need women on their side to hold other women accountable for being hoes and shame them. And I'm not saying, like Game of Thrones and, they in the middle of the street and we yelling shame, shame, shame. I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying, like, if you got a homegirl and she a hoe, you shouldn't be friends with her no more. Point blank, period. If you friends with a hoe and she got a man and she cheating on her man, you shouldn't be fucking with her no more, period. That type of solidarity will ostracize the ones that are bringing down a society and separate the two. And that's what we need. We need that separation amongst men and amongst women.
Facts. I like that answer. You know what I mean? That's real
Also, man, at the end of the day, if we're gonna keep it real, if we're gonna keep it 100% funky, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have that Bible in there.
No,
you know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know what I'm saying, before everything else, you gotta be in that Bible. You know what I'm saying? I know it might sound cliche, and that's because of the Christian church. They made the Bible cliche. They made the Bible not as powerful as it really is. But you need to live your life according to the scriptures, man. You really do, because that's our blueprint. Like, think about it. Relationships exist, marriages exist because of the Most High. So don't you think that he has the plan to make relationships work? Like, how does the Most High not have the plan to make sure your relationship works if he's the one who orchestrated relationships and marriages? He orchestrated it. He made the woman parts perfectly fit for the man parts. He did that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta go back to the source of where that came from to know how to do. It's like reading the goddamn manual. The only way you know how to operate your car is by reading the car manual. Person that made the car says, well, listen, if you want to use this car and keep it going for as long as possible, you gotta read this manual and show and treat the car the way the manual says to treat the car. Do these things, do that, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Never do that. And if the car ever does this is how to respond to that. That's in the Bible. That's our manual. So you got to go back to that ultimately. You know what I mean? And figure that out and then live by it. But here's the problem. Here's the problem that you're going to have. Your ideas of what the Christian church taught you about the Bible are not in the Bible. And that's the conflict you're gonna have when you read the Bible. That's why you need to get in class the Bible and start over. You understand? Because those ideas are gonna contradict the truth about the Bible. And that's why so many black people don't even believe in the Bible, because the things they were taught contradict the Bible. So now they go and read the Bible. We're like, hold up, well, this don't sound right because the Christian church said this, and that's not in the Bible. Or that's not. If that's in the Bible and this is in the Bible, then the Bible is bullshit now because they contradicted. You know what I'm saying? Which is not true. If you find out what the Bible really true is, but you can only find in the ISU, you'll understand the Bible and you'll know how to keep a marriage going. You'll know how to fix a marriage. You'll know what to look for in a woman before you get married to her. She'll know what to look for in a man before she gets married to him. And divorce. And listen, there will be no need for divorce. Think about how many Christian pastors sanction a marriage, and then they're the same pastor that sanctions their divorce. It makes no sense. If you truly created this relationship based on the Bible, based on the manual, then there would be no need for divorce. That's like blaming the manual for your car breaking down. When the car told you, look, if this happens, fix it. This is how you fix it. You ain't do that. You listen to somebody else. Oh, well, this is how I fix my car. This is what I do for my car. Whenever my car is in trouble, I do this. And now you listen to that and do what they do with their car, and it don't work for you. And you blaming who you gonna blame? You blaming the manual? You gonna blame the person that you listen to? You should blame yourself. Read the manual.
Facts.
I digress. That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah,
I don't clock back in until about 8 o'clock in the morning. That's all I got.
Nah, facts. Now what y'all saying is heavy and on point. The only 2 cents I'll add into it is trust. Trust is a big thing if you want to fix a relationship, right? And a lot of times with our, being hurt with our trust issues, we anticipate, negative responses from your spouse or consequences from your spouse. Like before it even happens, you're like meditating on the negative outcome because you don't trust the person, right? And like Isaiah brought out with the Bible, it tells you because of the hardness of our heart, Moses suffered us to divorce, right? And from that verse, the thing that we should focus on is the hardness of our heart, right? We've become where, we're not utilizing, the brotherhood and sisterhood that can mend those differences. You know what I mean? Like we have this hardness because the hurt we've been through, because of the cruelty we've been through. So what we have to do is learn how to soften our hearts. And I know that sounds Christian as hell, but you know what I'm saying? But softening your hearts meaning you're gonna have to forgive that person. Like it says in the scriptures. You're gonna have to, relearn and be retaught, how, the good things that you like about this person. You're gonna, you're gonna have to use your kindness and, revert back to, humbling yourself, becoming brand new, all that stuff, ties into softening your heart. You know what I'm saying? But you have to let go of the hurt. You have to let go of the hurt and learn to trust again. You know what I'm saying? Trust is a big thing, you know what I'm saying? That's all I have to say.
Well, if I could add to what you just said too, because when you bring up trust, that's definitely a good topic, right? But the problem with trust is it's an easy thing to gain. And if you ever lose trust, it goes back to what Lapayah was saying about lying. About, if you ever get caught lying to your woman, you understand, she's not gonna trust you. She's not gonna trust you. And it goes for women too. Like if a man ever has a reason not to trust his wife, it's gonna be hard to get that trust back. It's gonna be real hard. It's not impossible. It's possible, but y'all gotta get to it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta get that counseling. Y'all gotta, forgive each other. You know what I mean, which is another aspect that goes along with marriage and being in a relationship. Forgiveness. Huge aspect in relationships. You're gonna find yourself forgiving each other more times than you can imagine. Way more times than you can count. You know what I'm saying? That's relationships are built on forgive. And the shit that you're gonna have to forgive her for the stuff that she do tomorrow. And then she gonna do it again the next time. You know what I mean? And you have to forgive her. She gotta forgive you. You understand? It's a big thing, but that trust can be earned back. But it's hard. It's very hard. And both of y'all gonna have to deal with that.
Facts.
Both of y'all gonna have to deal with that. Y'all have to take it on the chin. No diddy, Salaki. But take that shit on the chin. Whenever y'all hurt each other, you know what I mean, you're gonna get hurt. You gotta take it on the chin and just say, you know what? I forgive you. You know what I mean? I forgive you, and try to build back that trust. You know what I mean?
Facts. Facts. And if I could add one last thing, like you was talking about the lying, you know what I'm saying, the cheating and the doing that. Once you lose that trust, The scriptures say, I ain't gonna go through the whole thing, but Deuteronomy 28:56, right? The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. Now, the reason I'm bringing that out is because once that trust is lost, right, everything you do to that woman looks evil. It looks evil. You could be doing the most random thing. You know what I mean? Like once you lie and say, I'm this place, but I'm really this place. Now, every time you leave, she has an evil outlook on that. It looks evil to her. You know what I'm saying? In the couple verses before that, it talks about the man looking at his woman like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, this scripture is talking about what the curses that was going to befall us as we not listening to the Most High, but it still goes into what we're talking about. And that's why we have such a trust issue amongst each other, because once that relationship begins with untrustworthy words and is found to be untrustworthy, relationship is going to fail, because everything she sees now is going to be evil of you. That's when it says her eye shall be evil towards her. And that means everything she sees, everything you do from this point on, it's like, why she keep bugging me? Why she keep thinking I'm doing something? It's because she caught you doing something before that you lied about and said you wasn't doing. Why he keep treating me like this? Why he won't let me go out with my girls? Because you did something that has broke his trust. So now everything that you do that may be innocent on your end looks evil in his eyes. And just like you said, relationships, what they don't tell us in the Christian church when we get in these relationships, everybody's so gung-ho for the ceremony, right? We skim over what the hell the preacher is saying, right? We don't take it into consideration to a certain degree when they read in vows and stuff like that. But here's the thing. Think about how further or how far along, if black men, black women, Hispanic men, Hispanic women, Native men, Native women are in the households, right? And people in relationships, families are able to see what actually entails in a relationship. And then when you get married, somebody tell you that your relationship is going to be built on forgiveness. It's not built on lust. It's not built on money, but it's built on how you forgive your mate, because you're going to need a lot of that. Nobody told us that. They made it seem like when you got married and motherfuckers, Salaki, when people was throwing rice at you and shit, and you get in that car and you drive off in the empty ass, busted ass Kansas drive, just married, you feel like you riding off into the sunset. My nigga, realistically, when they throw that rice and you get in that car, nigga, realistically, it's ding ding, nigga, round one. That's it's a fight that's finna happen, because they didn't tell you that you're gonna need that forgiveness. You're gonna have to forgive your mate 70 times 70. That's what that scripture is talking about. It ain't just between men and men. It's even your mate. You got to forgive them for the things that they do, certain things. But most things, you're going to have to forgive her for snapping off at you. You have to forgive him for using a tone. You have to forgive him for taking his day out on you when he went to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things that actually builds a relationship. It is forgiveness. And if you don't have forgiveness in your heart, which most black people don't have, and I'm saying that in the sense of this. I'm not saying that black people don't forgive, because we forgive who we want to forgive. But I'm talking about as far as each other, as far as blacks, Hispanics, and natives forgiving each other, we lack that, which is why Christ had to show us, hey, listen, y'all niggas need to forgive each other. That's why this whole thing even worked. If you don't have that in a relationship, his evil eye is going to spark her evil eye and vice versa, and y'all going to forever be at odds.
Yeah, not fair. I do want to ask, because what y'all bringing out some heavy points. Like, people have triggers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? People do have triggers, and they're going into these relationships with these triggers that you may not have caused.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Like, right. And you know, like everything that was brought out, like, it's good that you forgive that person that brought that hurt to you, but you also got to forgive yourself.
Exactly.
Right? Don't hold on to those triggers. You got to forgive yourself and realize that it's really not your fault. It's not. You dig what I'm saying? Like, right. It could be healed. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it could be healed. The only reason is not healing is because you're holding on to it as if it's a part of you, like it's something
Right.
that is a part of you. Like you have to utilize brotherhood and sisterhood is important in a relationship. Same way you treat a brother and a sister treats another sister is how you should treat your spouse as well too. So going
Right.
into these relationships, man, we got to be patient with each other, dealing with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us got a lot of hurt on our shoulders, a lot of hurt. You know what I mean? And trust that person is gonna do right. You'll get through it. You'll get through
Right.
it.
If I
And that's why
could,
it's important to have counselors, because before you get into a marriage, that's why I love the UPK, because realistically, what you're supposed to do, a counselor should sit two people down that have the idea of being married and find out and pose the questions. They don't necessarily have to be in there and ask the questions, but what they do need to do is prepare the man and the woman with the questions they need to ask the other person so they can get to the bottom of it. So a question like, what are your triggers, or what are some of the things that you've been through? What are some of the things that set you off, are good questions to ask. If I get with this woman and I like the way she look and she cool with me, da 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 da, but her trigger is when men raise their voice. That's something you probably need to know before y'all having sex and y'all good. And then today she come in there and kick over your drink and you like, bitch, what the fuck? And she like, nigga, who the think you talking to? Next thing you know, y'all fighting, the police get called, now y'all hate each other forever. You feel what I'm saying? But maybe if we had that conversation about raising a voice, maybe I could say, okay, I only raise my voice when so and so happened, when somebody kick over my drink. Communication, going back to what Isaac said. I'm just saying, when you kick over my drink, I raise my voice. At least she's prepared. At least you're prepared. She could tell you, hey, just so you know, I'm clumsy than a motherfucker, so I'm going to kick over the drink. Now going into this, like, okay, it's a possibility she's going to kick over my drink. Let me restrain myself. Let us both use great restraint. Listen, these are the answers we giving y'all. I don't see. Listen, if we should have 100 million subscribers because we giving y'all the keys to relationships.
Facts.
If I could go back to what you said a little while ago earlier too, about how important it is to forgive, right? Like it's what's deep is the ones that we're looking for, the ones that we're looking to for spiritual guidance, the ones we're towards like relationship guidance. Of course, their relationship advice comes from God according to our from what we believe, what we were told growing up. But the Christian church are the ones that are telling us not to forgive. Exactly. I mean, just wrap this around your head. If you've ever gotten counsel from a Christian leader about your marriage, and if it was ever, well, if he not doing this, then you need to find somebody else. You need to leave him. If you've ever gotten that counsel, your Christian pastor just taught you not to forgive. But I thought forgiveness was what Christ died for.
Facts.
So somebody got some explaining to do. I mean, if we're supposed to be forgiving, why is there even a divorce rate? You know what I'm saying? And if not for nothing, why is it at least that high? Why is it as high as it is? You know what I'm saying? Because we're supposed to be forgiving. We're supposed to be like Christ. If you're Christian, that means you are like Christ. It means you do what Christ would do. Even Christians have that saying, what would Jesus do? Well, Jesus would forgive. Right or wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? So your Christian pastor is telling you not to forgive, man. So
if I'm not mistaken, I think in Galatians it says to bear one another burdens or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm paraphrasing, like as far as what Paul was writing to the church, something like that can be used in your relationship.
Right.
People gonna be the way they are. That's one thing I learned as well too in life.
Yeah.
You are who you are. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, it could be molded and shapen to be, more in tune. You know what I mean? I'm trying to look for the right words to speak, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? It could be more in tune and whatnot, but at the end of the day, you are who you are. Now you have to ask yourself, with being with this person, does this person fit your role and your lifestyle with the way that they are?
Right.
Now, I'm not saying like, of course, something that's a red flag, but I'm just saying like, characteristics about them. Like you mentioned earlier, chewing with her mouth open, right? Some nigga
Right.
might be like, I don't give a damn, baby, chew with your mouth open. It tastes
Right.
good. Mm-mm. The next nigga will be like, what the fuck is wrong with this nigga?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, and she's not subconscious about it because that's just who she is. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, she
Exactly.
just grew up eating with her mouth open, and you decide if that's something I'm comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? And with time, you learn each other, you learn what to do. But at the ground level, you gotta accept people, where they at. And I don't know, I probably sound too Christian today, but I'm just saying you gotta accept people.
Nah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
real. That's real what you're saying too, because think about it. It's so much that goes into a relationship. Getting into a relationship, it seems easy because you see it on the outside. And you see two people get together, they have sex, they split bills, they get in the car together, they do everything together, and that's what people think the just of a relationship is. You know what I'm saying? We just in the house, we have sex, we pop out some babies, we go to functions, and that's what they think it is. But you know, like you're saying, it's those little things that kind of break down the relationship. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have that communication, it actually breaks down and can destroy the relationship. If you meet a woman in her 20s, I use myself as an example. I had got married in my 20s. I was 22 years old. The man that I was at 22 was not the same man I was when I was 30. Going into relationships, even the woman I was with at the time was not the same woman at 22 that she was at 30. In a relationship, you have to realize that even as a couple, as being together separately, we're still going to go through changes, and those changes may be different. While I may go through a change at 25, she may not hit another change until she's 35. But the love and the forgiveness and the sustainability should be applied to that during that time where it seems like we rocky. We ain't on 1 accord, because it's going to be like that in a relationship. You're going to be center with each other, and this person might be having your woman might be going through something. She might be maturing. You know what I'm saying? You might be maturing at a certain age, but if nobody tells you that, it's going to seem like, oh, we just not working. When somebody with some actual tenure in relationships and some experience can tell you like, oh, brother, don't worry about that. Women go through this at the age of 25 to 35. This is what they go through. Somebody could tell you that, so you could be like, okay, she acting crazy. It'll pass. The person, or the core person that she is, I still love her. I'm going to stick it out. Same thing with the men. This man might be going through something. He going through this stage, and you trying to figure out like why he always on the couch, why he don't want to work. He might be depressed. There's no reason to leave him, but somebody need to tell you that men may go through this depression stage at this point because they're trying to find themselves. But if nobody tell you that, the only option you think you got is to leave the nigga, leave the woman. That's the only option you got, and then you jump on a train with somebody else who's in a different stage of life, and guess what? They run into the same wall, and you leave them. Come on, man. This is practical knowledge that you only gonna get in this Israelite School of Practical Knowledge and on War as Usual. That's the only way you gonna get this, man. This is experience right here.
The experience.
The next question, since we short on time, let's go to this next question, right? Domestic violence, right? Can a relationship be fixed that has experienced domestic violence? Is this an unfixable sin when it comes to relationships?
Y'all go ahead. I know what I want to say, but I'll let y'all talk.
Take the back seat on.
I'm talking too much.
You gonna take the back seat on this one?
That's a rough one. That's a rough one for real. Like domestic violence is a rough one. Y'all probably gonna hate me on this. Y'all gonna hate me on this one.
Let them listen. If they don't hate you, if they don't hate you yet, you ain't doing your job. So
God, you're right. But listen, that's. I think for both parties, nobody should be putting their hands on each other.
facts.
Facts.
Now, if it gets too out of hand where your life is on the line, I don't think you're able to mend that, John. Like, you do what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But you go ahead. So who else wanna?
Oh man. All right. So
Let
all
me
right.
gather my thoughts.
It's a very touchy subject. No pun intended. Is deep and there's no. I don't think there's any cut and dry answer for it. Um, like I agree again, there's no room for domestic violence in a relationship. If you are in a relationship where domestic violence has happened, here's what you have to first understand is that that's why we're here giving you the advice not to get with anybody before you get to know them. Don't have sex before you know anybody. If you live by that law, you'll never make the mistake of being with somebody who you don't want to be with. If you like being beat on, then hey, go for it. Like, you know what? This seemed like the type of nigga that's gonna put his hands on me, and I kind of like that. Go for it. That's what you into. That's what you into. I can't knock you. But if that's not what you into, you should keep your legs closed long enough to find out if he gonna hit you. You should keep your pants zipped long enough to find out if she gonna hit you. And that's how you avoid that. Now, if you just couldn't for some reason see it coming and you have terrible perception, then here's the next step. You need to get counsel. You need to get counsel, and he needs to get counsel as well. You need to pray. You know what I'm saying? You need to argue. You need to. I knew you was gonna laugh about that, but I'm so serious. I'm so serious though. You need to pray, and oh man, it's tough because I don't believe in blaming the victim at all. I do not believe in victim blaming. I think that if you are being hit by your man, you are a victim. If you're being hit by your woman, you are a victim. Unless warranted, unless like what I'm saying, like there's nothing okay, in all honesty, I gotta say that there's nothing that could warrant a man hitting a woman, nor a woman hitting a man, unless it's vice versa. Like unless that man put his hands on you. And if you're a woman, then you should defend yourself in any way possible. If that woman puts her hands on you, you should defend yourself in any way possible. But it's such a hard question. You know what I'm saying? I think the only thing to do is avoid it. I think that's the only thing you can really do. But you can get counsel if you in that situation. You need to get counsel. You know what I'm saying? You might need to call the police. You know what I'm saying? There's three things you're gonna do. You're gonna call the council. You're gonna call the council. You're gonna call on God, and you're gonna call the police. Nah, I'm slacking.
That nigga said pray.
I don't know, man.
Nigga say you need
You might have to pray about it,
Yo,
man.
Pray.
yo, I'm gonna say it like this. I think in extreme circumstances you can pick out somebody who will be considered violent in a relationship. In most relationships, I don't think you can foresee that. I don't think you can. And this is what I'll say. I'll keep it brief. I think it can recover from domestic violence if it's mutual. Meaning this: if you are, to me, again, what everybody is saying is correct. You definitely need to get counsel, especially if it's one of those things. Like, I'll give you a quick example. Let's say your husband come home, you know what I'm saying, or your wife come home, and you're supposed to cook. You didn't cook. If that warrants them to start whooping your ass, that's a problem. That's a big problem, because now they are expressing their frustration in a physical way. The other side of that is this.
Childish.
Some relationships, you may have somewhat of a dust up in the relationship. Now, if y'all the type of people like, okay, she hit me, I hit her, and that type of thing is happening, I think you can recover from that if both of y'all are being active in that. I think you can recover from that. I think counseling can help in that scenario. But if one person is being a victim to being abused, I think that's when not only counseling needs to come in hand, but maybe some some high level counseling on what to do in that situation. But I do think relationships can recover from that, because I think living with somebody and being in that space, tempers may run high. It may happen. But what it's about is the restraint of both parties. Now, when people start to lose restraint, that's when we have a big issue. But I can't sit here and say and make it seem like you're going to get in a relationship with a man or a woman and that dust up ain't going to happen. And now, when I say dust up, I don't mean uppercuts and body slams and shit. I ain't talking about that. But you going to get in each other's face. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for nobody. You're going to do that at some point in time. It's not going to be butterflies and roses every time when you walk in, you pick her up and she got her one leg up and, you're swinging around. Some days going to be like that. But there's going to be some other days where it's like, bitch, get out of my face. She going to be like, nigga, get out of my face. Get away from me. It's going to happen. But when it gets to the point to where one person is just, that's how they express themselves, that's going to be a big issue. But do I think it can recover from that? Yes. If it's somewhat to a certain degree mutual. But if it's one-sided, that's when it's a problem.
Well, here's the question real quick, if I may select it. What is domestic violence? Like, how do you classify it?
Well, for me, I mean, if we can get the very definition, but from what people believe domestic violence is, generally when people hear domestic violence, they think a man beating a woman. That's literally what they think. They don't think about being domestic like this is a family fight. I mean, if you break down the words, domestic, that's a home fight. That's really what it is. That's a fight within the home. That's what it is. But from what we've been taught, domestic violence is usually centered around a man putting his hands on the woman, and the woman is never like really doing anything. She didn't hit him. She didn't do anything. That's what they look at. A man in any regard putting his hand on a woman is looked at as domestic violence if they're in a relationship. But realistically, it's both of them. It's both of them. Both of them fighting. It's a fight within the home. That's domestic. It don't even have to be relationship. It could be two cousins fighting. That's domestic. You know what I mean? Like,
not fact. I mean, but it's in the word as well too. Like, domestic is the crib. Yep. Violence is the fight. You know what I'm saying? Domestic fight. You know what I'm saying? A fight in the crib. You know what I mean? But what, as far as like them reconciling, if nothing changes, then I mean, of course, y'all gonna reconcile because y'all basically got a trauma bond at this point. You dig what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Unless y'all change, like y'all gotta change. If it's mutual, y'all gotta just stop beating each other asses. Because, like,
unless they like it, that's what I'm saying. That's somebody. I guess they like it. Some of them, I don't know. Cause no, and I don't mean to cut you off, sir, but I'm so serious. Like, I've seen people who know that this person is violent, and it's like they want to piss each other off. It's like I've seen them like try to piss each other off on purpose, knowing that one of them is violent and that they're gonna put their hands on them. It's like, bro, why are you pissing that person off, knowing that they're gonna put their hands on you? I see if you just scared. He's like, oh, I don't want to say nothing that's gonna make you angry, and we can see that shit. Like, we can see it visibly. Like, yeah, you scared of this nigga. Like, I'm talking about this motherfucker. This person purposely pisses this significant other person off, and then gets hit. It's like, you love this shit. You like getting hit, apparently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that. You know what I mean? For some, it could be a turn off for some. You know what I mean? They like being abused. But I think it's also a chemical imbalance in their mind from the abuse, like Stockholm syndrome, or people don't know what to do.
When I was being hit.
You said what?
No, I was saying my bad. I wasn't trying to jump in. I was just saying, like, only time I feel loved is when I'm being hit.
Yeah, and like I said, like I was mentioning, it goes both ways. You know what I mean? Even with the man, Like he can have the most craziest chick, and for some reason he's gonna go back to her because he made himself familiar with that. Like he became attached to that, her wilding out and all that stuff. Well, that wild out can turn to her pulling out a gun and blasting his brain out because she saw another phone number in his phone. You dig what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or a chick text him. Like if it don't stop, it's gonna. I don't know. I think it's horrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely it is. And a lot of that, especially from the man side, I'll say this real quick, but especially from the man side, if you was a man like myself that grew up with a single mother, you used to seeing the woman wild out. You used to seeing that. This same woman that's wilding out beat you when it's time. You know what I'm saying? When it's time, that's where you get your whooping from. You get your
Yeah.
whooping from this same woman that's wilding out because you didn't take out the trash, you didn't do the dishes, you got an F on your paperwork. She gonna whoop the hell out of you. So for some men, for women that don't know, that becomes that thing. Well, okay, my girl, she mad, so it's okay for her to put her hands on me and hit me, and I'm supposed to take it. You know what I'm saying? But after so long, what ends up happening is after that builds up, after so long, you get tired of that shit. And now all of that happened, now you take it out. Now, when you take it out on her, guess what? Your takeout is gonna be way worse than what she did. She could have been hitting you for 10 years. But that 5 seconds of you retaliating becomes you being a domestic violence monster. That's what you turn into. You get what I'm saying? So you're right. Eventually, if it does not stop, this is a trauma bond. These are things that happen. These are deeply rooted, seated things in families that transcend into our next relationships, right? I'm not saying that people don't go through domestic violence who have both men and women in the home, because very well they could if that's what they saw. But my point is the acceptance of it. It's almost like how men don't want to see their woman cry because they don't want to see their mother cry. You see your mother cries, like, oh, give her what she want. You know what I mean? Like she crying. We don't want to see that. So whatever she asking for, give it to her. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. So you're right. If it does not stop on either end, it's a horrible thing. But in reality, it is happening. And it's going to take, that's why we need counselors. We need people to be able to go in and mitigate, you know what I'm saying, those risks of fatality in those scenarios, and be able to determine and tell these people why they feel in the way they feel and give them solutions on how to handle it. Because if we just tell people like, don't hit him and don't hit her, that ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work. Just telling them that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to find a root cause. You got to find a plan of action. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to diagnose and give a clear prognosis of what's going to happen in order for these people to understand why they can't, go on like that.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Here, I'm gonna tell you something. Here's the here's the I forget that word they use when something is like it's like perplexing. It's like anyway, here's the solution. Really, the solution of fixing marriages is actually the result itself. It's circular. It's like it's self-fulfilling. The solution is to have successful relationships. If two men, I mean, so like if a man and a
Pause.
man and a woman stay together in their relationship, right? And they raise a family, they raise children. Those children, I'm gonna give you the problem first. If those two people don't stay together, like you just brought up, that mother is going to raise that child, and that child is going to have a resentment for women, either have a resentment for that woman, or take on traits of that woman, or both. And it's going to cause them to deal with their next relationship in that manner. You know what I mean? Whereas if those two people stayed together, that father and that mother stayed together, and instilled discipline within that house, and showed their child, showed that son how to be a man, showed that daughter how to be a woman, what to look for in a man, what to look for in a woman, they would then be given all of the qualities that they need to have a successful family after that. So that's what I'm saying. Like the solution to the problem is actually the result of the solution. It's crazy. It's circular. You have to have good. You have to have a stable family. You have to have a stable relationship within your household to create stable relationships thereafter.
I agree. You need an example. You need someone to set the foundation in order for you to know what it is to do and what it is to not do. And not only just set the foundation, they need to be able, like you said, it's reciprocal. So they need to be able to trace back to their example. You know, like when you was in school and the teacher, you do a problem and then you got to go and check your work. It's the same thing even in a relationship. Like people can give you advice all day, but then at some point in time, you got to go back and get a refresher. You got to go back and check to see, okay, this is what is supposed to happen. Someone to guide you through that. In relationships today, we do not have that. We do not have that because it's far and few in between to find a successful relationship in the world, right? And because everybody has so many options now as far as what they can do, people are just looking for the option that fits their own particular lifestyle. They're not there, looking at something totally different. They're not looking at what reality is. They're trying to fit their own personal beliefs into reality, and it don't work that way. The world is the way that it is, and you have to adjust, right, to a certain degree. So if we out here and we got all these relationships and they all failing, there's a problem within the home. There's a problem within what's being taught. It's a problem what's being shown, and that's what we have to tackle.
You can do me a favor, Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
There's a video I posted in the messenger.
Mm-hmm.
It should be like one of the most recent ones. It's a TikTok. I don't know if you're able to play that. Cause y'all was saying foundation and all of that. I think seeing this will put it in perspective on why it's important for us to stick together. For relationships to work. Fix your relationship, y'all. Fix it. I don't know if you're able to play.
You able to hear it?
These memories.
Is y'all able to hear it?
Nah, we don't even see nothing playing. Unless that's just me.
Hey, you can't see it. Can you make it large screen?
Now I can see it.
It
Like
said,
that?
what started with two people falling in love in 1963?
These memories will stay with me.
So it said it grew into a family of 9. Just in case people can't see it, those 7 kids fell in love and added 7 more to the family. They added 25 more. Some kids fell in love and added 10 great grandbabies.
And that, look, that's a whole tribe now.
That's a tribe.
It's a legacy. You dig what I'm saying?
And they're not gonna stop. You think they're gonna stop having babies?
Like what started out from 2 people grew into that legacy.
Facts.
That's what's important to making sure that we keep these families together, so we can grow this nation. That's crazy. Like, you know what I mean?
That's heavy because what it shows you too, because they still all together like that. With those 2 individuals, what they teach is supposed to go down through the ranks.
Mm-hmm.
So the 9 kids that they have, they're supposed to teach it to their kids, teach it to their kids, and they should be seamless. It should be seamless. right? That's what it is.
And that's only three. What is that? 3 generations? That was just 3 generations.
And they
Or
got
am
to
I
keep
wrong?
going.
No, that's grandkids and great. That's 4 generations.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just gonna
Yeah.
keep going, like you said. But that's that. I mean, and that's the power in staying together. And I'll tell you one more thing. That was 2 black people. It was a black man and a
Right.
black woman. Not no
Facts.
mixed
Right.
race. None of that bullshit. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So
You
that's
can
really
have
what
that.
it takes.
And I can imagine the feeling as a man. I haven't felt that, obviously, but I can imagine the feeling as a man when you able to see those generations like that, the feeling that must have for you to see what came from your seed and spread like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's crazy.
that gotta be because okay, I'm gonna just say this real quick. I know we gotta go, but can you imagine? Like not to get all deep and dark with it, but can you imagine being an old man like that? And I imagine like some of the kings, King David, maybe Solomon, I don't know, but in the Bible, can you imagine having that type of family? And when you ready to make your transition, you got all those generations at your bedside. You able to see generations and generations and generations. And I imagine in the kingdom it's gonna be like that. I imagine that when it's time for us to go, we're gonna live so long and so healthy that at my bedside, when it's time for me to transition and come back again, I'm able to see, you know what I'm saying, generations and generations are at my bedside. The sons that I had, the daughters that I had, the children that they had, they children, and then they children. And can you imagine being able to see that as a man and say, look what I did? They all doing the same thing that the Most High gave me to give to them, and they live in that. So when I come back, my future is solidified because of the generations, my nigga. They solidified. I ain't got to worry about eating pork, eating shrimp, crab, and lobster because my niggas don't do that. My people that I taught, they don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I could just imagine what that feeling is. It got to be a great feeling.
Man.
Yeah. We're gonna get there. But we gotta be the solution, man. We gotta be the solution right now. That's the only thing stopping us is we have to be the solution. You know what I mean? So
Facts.
let's get it, y'all. You know what I mean? It's a war as usual. I know we got real we got real relationship today. And you know what I'm saying? That's what we here for. You know what I mean? We gotta be the voice of what's
Little
right.
dollars in the sky.
You already know. Hey, put them
Illuminati.
dollars in the sky if you want them. Hell
Illuminati.
nah.
Uh-oh.
Well, you know, the triangle is the dot with dot. If y'all don't know, you got the triangle on top of the triangle, one up and one down. You see, because as above, so below. Nigga, shut
Red fish, blue fish,
Blueface.
polka dot, you fish. You know what I mean? So let's get it. This is war as usual, signing out.
Yeah.